This is Eamon Khan here for Boxing Social in association with Betfred with the one and only Kalle Sauerland, a smiling Kalle Sauerland. We've just finished the Eubank Jr. versus Eubank-Benn press conference. Kalle, take me back to, this was a few months ago now. You initially put out a tweet of fantasy matchups. And
finally someone who remembers it.
Yeah.
I like it.
And it was like, these two will meet down the line, and here we are, down the line.
Yeah. First of all, I'm very impressed that someone remembers my tweet that I predicted this fantastic bonanza. I don't know, it was a late night tweet and I thought I was just stating the obvious. I got absolutely slaughtered for it though. I mean, I got told that I was insane and, the usual stuff and, just giggling away at it and thinking, right, okay, maybe it wasn't that good an idea, but I still thought it was a good idea. But I didn't think it would happen, a year later. I said the not so distant future. I meant a couple of years, but it somehow triggered something off clearly somewhere in the Benn side of things because Liam Williams fight was it end of January, beginning of February, I think, beginning of first week of Feb, and then straight after the fight, I'm in Junior's dressing room, and was it just someone's come in and said, "Oi, Benn's called you out." I thought, what? Right. So I got on the phone to Edward Hearn, and Ed's gone to me, "Nah, I can't believe that." I said, "Well, check." I said, "No, they're having to think about it, but I can't imagine it. Can you?" And I'm like, "No, well, I don't know. I've no idea." But we were in talks around the Khan Brook fight was 2 weeks later. I think it was a week later, 2 weeks later. And we were supposed to fight the winner of that. And then, Brook went off and won in clear fashion. And, we were led to believe that would be the next fight. And then he retired, which is, of course, his total right after a fantastic career. But we were sort of left looking at the different options at middleweight and, and names like Liam Smith came up and a few others, and Benn started coming up more and more. And then, we looked at the Liam Smith option, negotiated around that, and suddenly that wasn't an option anymore. When he was announced to box in September in Liverpool. And then, we were so far up the road already with Ben, and there was so much hype around it for a fight that hadn't been made, announced, whatever. It was a simple decision.
A lot of talk has been made about the weight clause on Benn coming up and Chris Eubank Jr. coming down. How do you think it will affect the fight at all, Kalle?
I think they both signed up for it. No one has said you have to do this, you have to do that. They've taken their own decisions. They've consulted with their camps, they've consulted with themselves, families, whatever. I don't advise on weights. I don't do that. I don't have to make the weight. I'm not qualified to tell you about weight. I can just tell you what I can do within the rules, and that's what I can do. And I can try and negotiate with the other side, see if it works and works for them. We got there pretty early on the weights. It wasn't much of a discussion really on the weights. I think that Junior says he's not going to be his full strength because he looks at it on a percentage wise, which is the way he looks at it, and Conor thinks that's an excuse. At the same time, Junior, I don't think Conor's seen the full statement. Is what Junior's saying is, well, nor's Conor because he's got to come up in weight, so he's not going to be 100% either in terms of if we were looking at it like a computer game, how strong are they? It's a very analytical way of looking at it. So I think what he means is he'll still be 100% on the night, of course, but maybe he'll have 60% of the power he would normally have. I'm guessing here a bit, yeah. But it clearly created friction up there today, and it was great. It was a fun presser, Got to ask questions I can't ask at any other press conferences, like, was that name bandied around the dining table at the family house when you were kids? What was the reaction in the Eubank house when the Benn name was mentioned even? How does it impact your training now, knowing that this is a legacy fight? And we talk about legacy fights all the time in boxing. And of course there are natural legacy fights, but this is the defining one. I mean, you're talking about legacy, you're talking about family legacy. Forget world titles. It's family honour. family, family respect. There is so much pressure on them from that point of view, but they seem to be enjoying it. Junior's certainly enjoying it. He's that's why I believe he jumped at this fight.
Final question from me. Eubank Junior has made some strong statements up there. He said if he loses this one, he's finished. Fair statement?
No, I mean, well, first of all, he's not going to lose. So we talk victory. He's going to absolutely win, and he's going to win in style. He's going to stop him in the late rounds. But in boxing, you can slip, you can trip, you can clash heads. There can be everything. So, if you lose, and you can't put lose in boxing in one draw. It's not like football. It can be bad decisions. There can be lots of different things. So, but at the same time, I know why he's doing it. He wants to put himself under. He likes that pressure, and that's cool. But he ain't losing. I think most importantly is we saw them on stage today having. Well, I don't think they were having fun. I think we all enjoyed it though. I think actually they, in a strange way, they were enjoying it as well. There was a bit of beef. Respect. I do believe it was respectful still. I know they were having a go at each other, but what I felt at least up there, and the way I try to direct my questions was to get to the clearly huge amount of. They both said they don't hate each other, but there was a, let's say, strong feeling of discontent towards the others, and it's just a fascinating psychological story, isn't it? I mean, it's unbelievable. And at this fight, there is no belts on the line. There's no unification. It's not world title. It's all about family honour. And in the truest sense of the word, you've got this huge amount of expectation. You've got a huge amount of legacy. You've got, it's called the Born Rivals, and it's true. It's in the truest sense of the word. Everyone's deeply known this fight would one day come. I'll admit, I'm surprised it came in this year. But in sport, you take what's on the table and you go for it. This is a great opportunity for both.
You mentioned there was nothing on the line. Chris did mention if he loses this fight, that's it. It's over.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, in sport, it's always a question of how you lose. And secondly, Chris ain't losing. Chris will be victorious on October the 8th and will go on. And I do believe that Eubank-Benn will still go on and claim a world title in the sport.